And now, Freelance Heroism presents Return to Ravenloft.
Hey everybody, welcome to Freelance Heroism. My name is Dees.
And I'm Rachel.
And before I even get started, we just want to say thank you to everyone out there who donates at the Patreon, in particular those who donate at the producer tier.
Yes.
Rachel,
Mm-hmm.
would you like to let us know who they are?
I would love to. We want to say thank you to Duncan, Nate, Christopher Hildebrand, Breakmeister, and Rebecca. Thank you so much, everyone.
You help us make a better show for everyone. We couldn't do it without you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Rachel.
Yes.
We're talking about MMOs.
We were talking about MMOs.
MMOs, the best form of game. That they literally just can't get out of their own way. That's the only problem. So, just you tell me a brief rundown. What MMOs have you played? Which one was your big one?
I've played a lot of MMOs. I would say my big one was EverQuest 2.
Right.
I did play some EverQuest, which I enjoyed, but I got on the EverQuest hype train pretty late. So EverQuest 2 came out, and I was on board for that because the graphics were so much better.
Right, graphics, that's what sells it.
But I played EverQuest 1 and 2. I've played Fate. I played one, I can't even remember the name of it now, but like it had some cool, one of my favorite features of it was that when you were traveling the world, if you traveled on a road, you got a 5% speed boost to like your movement speed. And I thought that was very cool.
Yeah. They still put that in some games, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Played some World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
But my big one was definitely EverQuest 2.
I think I've played the majority of MMOs. And so like the big one for me was Final Fantasy 11.
Mm-hmm.
I played that a lot, and then to sort of like a secondary degree World of Warcraft, which I played a lot of. But yeah, Final Fantasy 11 is the one. When I think about which one was the most entertaining for me, it was 11. Which is why what we're talking about is we're playing Final Fantasy 14 now on stream, and you've been playing with us.
Yeah.
And it's I love it.
Yes, it is really
I feel
fun.
like it's a divisive game for sure. I think some people want WoW, which I feel like has lost sort of the thread in what made it good.
I would agree with that. I feel like WoW is sort of like a big ball of tangled yarn.
Right. That's a very good way to describe it. I feel the universe is too compartmentalized. It's like select your favorite stage. Right? It doesn't feel cohesive anymore. It feels like a level select screen whenever you go to play that game.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but it doesn't help you build immersion. You don't feel like you're playing an MMO. You feel like you're playing like we queue up for Battlegrounds and we stand around in our fucking room. What's the difference between that and selecting like one of these 5 options on a screen, text options, and then just waiting for the loading screen to load you into an arena?
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing.
Yeah. I was talking to you earlier about like how like the lore of the game is confusing, just how they have like the expansion set up, because I didn't play through a lot of the previous expansions. I got on like before Dragonflight came out.
Right.
And so there are a bunch of expansions, but the way that the game's set up, like you would have to try to like experience those and learn the lore. So I was talking to you about how there have been like several different chiefs after Thrall.
Yeah.
And I don't know like any of them.
Right, like because they give you the story when you play the content originally in WoW. They give it to you, but they give it to you in cutscenes, like maybe 10 cutscenes in the course of an entire expansion.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to deliver all the story, and then the rest of it's narratively as you like wander across it, right? The problem is is that when they give you all of the content at once and there is no path through any of it, you can't possibly find a new player joining has to figure out time walking, which has all kinds of bugs and glitches and issues with it.
Yeah.
But let's say once you do figure out time walking, right? Then you have to know the order of the expansions and you have to know what scenes are important, but you wouldn't know unless you 100%ed them and then went back and determined which ones or had someone coach you through it. It's just, there should be a story path if that's what they want to do, right? But I don't think they do want that anymore. I think that right now, and I'm guilty of this too, I'm the guy who wants to get to 70 and play the PvP, right? WoW's story does not hook me in any way. So I don't give a shit what war chief I'm serving, to be perfectly honest with you. It never mattered to me. But I think I don't want to say I'm to blame for some things, but I'm not to blame for this. This is them not making that a fucking relevant factor in anything. Right? Yeah. Meanwhile, in Final Fantasy 14, I genuinely care about the story. I want to know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the deal with these mage assholes? And the Garleans? I give a shit about this game. So they're doing a really good job. They sort of tuck events and abilities behind, they tuck abilities behind events. So we wanted to get a mount, right? Yeah. But in order to get the mount, you have to progress through the storyline, right? And so they force you to experience the thing. Some dungeons you just can't do until you get to that point where it's relevant in the story, and then you can delve into the dungeon to complete the narrative, right? And now the dungeon makes sense in my mind. Oh, this is where we fought Ifrit. Right, yeah. And then there's some, I found just a random quest from an NPC who was like, hey, I heard there was an earthquake and this temple opened up. Go check it out. And I went there, talked to an NPC, and it's like, now you have access to this dungeon. It's not a part of the main quest, but now I know where it is. I know a little bit of the history of it. Whereas in WoW, it's like, oh, you hit this level. Here's spam of a bunch of dungeons you can access now. Yeah. You have no idea where they are. Yeah. You have no idea what their importance is, but you can access them now. Yeah. So you can do one of these 15 dungeons that has you have no understanding of where it is on the map. If you had to walk there, you'd be fucked. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you. Yeah. I don't know. I like 14 a lot. Also, I wanted just to clarify for anyone who's having a fucking fit right now. I know it's Ifrit. I've forever known that, but I started calling it Ifrit, and I'm going to call it Ifrit forever. Don't write me. Is this a point of contention in the I'm just Final making Fantasy? No, I think it's Ifrit. I mean, it is. It's based off an Ifriti, right? That's where the term is. And recently they've started saying it in the 16 show. They actually say Ifrit. Whatever. I know it's Ifrit. I've always known it's Ifrit. That being said, I'm going to call it Ifrit forever. So just deal with that shit, okay? People say things different. I know there's people out there who heard it, and I did not immediately acknowledge it, and we just kept talking, and they were just having a fucking moment. Right. And I get that. I totally do. And so now you've been acknowledged, shut the fuck up about it. I showed you earlier the launch trailer for EverQuest 2. I thought it was going to be way worse. I'll be honest with you. I thought it was going to be real shitty. Yeah. But it wasn't the worst thing I'd ever seen. It was early Diablo quality. Yeah. Yeah. There were some, watching that trailer again, there were some things, because I played EverQuest 2 from launch, day one. And then whenever, an expansion pack or an adventure pack, which were different things, would come out, day of launch, I would get those. I was really I bet those were super clean launches too. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. I bet they were great. But I was telling you a little bit about the trailer, and there were these sort of two, a good and evil city, and Lucandelier was the leader of the evil city, and he's a
ghost lich guy, and he was voiced by Christopher Lee in the game.
Which is rad.
Yeah,
Good
it's
actor.
very cool. And then the leader of the good city is this woman in sort of a purple stripper outfit.
Right. We call that the Leia bikini.
That's Antonia Bale, and she was voiced by Heather Graham.
Heather Graham.
Christopher
Lee.
They spent all their voice acting money on Christopher Lee. So
Heather Graham of The Spy Who Shagged Me fame. Right.
But you see them in the trailer, and like Christopher Lee has this evil drow woman who's sort of like his henchman in the trailer, and then Antonia Bale has this like tiger person.
Right.
And I had forgotten, but there was like this point of sort of like drama in the EverQuest 2 community over that, because EverQuest 2 in the timeline takes place after EverQuest 1.
Hold on, we're getting really nerdy here. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. In EverQuest 1, the cat people all come from the moon.
Right, as we all know.
They come from the moon. You could play a cat person, you came from the moon.
Right.
In EverQuest 2, the moon blows up, and apparently like all of the cat people were on the moon, so they all died, so you could not play as a cat person, at least starting in EverQuest 2, even though it was a race that was already unlocked in EverQuest 1. But because the moon had blown up, there just like weren't any more cat people.
And we weren't going to talk about the fact that the moon blew up and the planet didn't like flood.
And then like later on, they added a race of cat people to play, but canonically, it was a different race of cat people from the moon cat people.
You know what? I want to just... There's a lot going on here. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what's happening. Okay, so cat people probably were upset. People probably threw a tantrum and got their cat people back.
Yes.
But these ones are from the sun.
These are These are different race of cat people.
So I will say, I was thinking for a second, I was like, the moon blew up and the planet didn't flood, and I was just like, that's a weird thing to say, right? Like, if let's say you hadn't gone to a science class, that might sound insane. What the fuck is he talking about? Right. If you don't know what I meant by that, go Google that. Go Google gravity. Mm-hmm. So cat people are back.
Yeah, cat people were brought back, but as I said, this was a different race of cat people. I don't know why they couldn't just be like, hey, there was a colony of cat people who were not on the moon when the moon blew up, and
they had Moonfest, and then the Moonfest blew up.
Right.
Mandatory attendance at Moonfest. Mm-hmm. Look, I like MMOs. I like them because they're big and they feel like a universe that you're actually in, and not like it feels closer to D&D than like a standard game. Right. Mm-hmm. But there are times where I just want to get in and chop shit up and get cool armor, and that's it.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do want to kind of feel the universe. I want to play the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Final Fantasy XIV does a good job of making it so that the things that you want to do are attached to the story.
Yes.
It feels like I could play this game like a single player game, and it would be fine. Like, I would think of it, it's an okay Final Fantasy game as a solo player.
They let you do that too, even because when you have to do a dungeon, you can choose to have NPCs join you in the dungeon rather than look for a party of players. Although I will say, the community in Final Fantasy XIV has been much nicer than I experienced in WoW.
I was just blown away by how like they give you all the tools to be creative, and people just ran with it.
Yeah.
Because it feels from an outside perspective, right? Because I'm new to the world, so I don't know the details of it. But it feels like they gave somebody a bunch of the tools required to do expressive, creative things, and did not smack them in the hand when they tried to use them for those purposes, right? Mm-hmm. And so now you get a culture. It feels like an art commune almost a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you walk into this place and it's like People are playing music using barred instruments that they're actually playing over the internet, which was mind-blowing to me. People are like doing interesting transmogs. People are RPing. They have a little RP icon you can put next to your head. So if you are playing the game, that's why we see people walking sometimes instead of running.
Yeah.
It's because they're RPing. It'd be unreasonable for a person to run all the time.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I'm looking forward to playing some more with you guys.
Me too. I'm excited to play it, and we have a tendency to play MMOs and play them for a while until the cracks start to show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there are cracks in this game. I'm not certain what they are yet, but I think that when you think about how much value you can get out of a game, it's kind of hard to beat MMOs, right? Because you're thinking like, you pay $60 for a PlayStation 5 game, you get it for like 28 hours, 30 hours, and then it's gone forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could put 30 hours in a week out of that level, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, if you haven't tried it, you should. They have a free trial on Final Fantasy 14. We're not sponsored or anything unless they want to give us money, and then I'll take it. But if you wanted to play with us on stream, we stream on Saturdays and Sundays. We also stream on Wednesday nights. So feel free to stop in. There'll be a link in the show notes to the stream. And the cool thing is, if you wanted to try it, you weren't certain about it, you can install it ahead of time, start a free trial, and we'll invite you to the group and you can hang out with us.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we should go ahead and get to this week's episode. We are back in Ravenloft this week.
Root.
This is Ravenloft, episode 14, UHJ.
What does that stand for?
You have to listen to the episode to find out.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Where did we leave off?
We left
y'all
off
are sleeping in a
hole.
hole.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, right. With
Haux.
Huh?
Haux.
Hawks in a hole.
I would not like it in a Haux. I would not like it.
Don't.
Oh, no, I'm not. And fiddleheads ain't shaped like.
I have to leave in the fiddlehead conversation.
I think you should. I think it's a public service announcement at this point.
Yeah.
I think before you should. I'll record another thing during the intro. The first part will be the intro like normal, and then I'll do like, seriously, folks. Hi, this is Dees Cassius from Freelance Heroism.
I would be
talk to you guys a second about these weird, not dick-shaped things called fiddleheads.
Should we have like soft piano music playing?
Yeah, I was going to say I would volunteer to edit the PSA portion of it if that's what you want to do.
Look, man, I get that you kids are down with the hippity hop and the, but let me break some real jazz down for you. If you eat this, it's gonna poison you, and you're gonna get a ruptured colon probably or something. Yeah.
And if you're going to rupture your colon, do it with something cool like, methamphetamine.
Like a slide from a trombone. Why don't you start a ska band like a real man? Sorry.
Okay.
All right, let's play some D&D.
Yes.
All right.
D-Walk.
Yes, sir.
You can cut this, I guess, or we can just experience it. But in the middle of the night, I will have grown quite a bit.
All right.
Okay.
So before I was about 10, now I'm going to be about 14.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Even more annoying. Fantastic.
Whatever you say, Gramps.
Is your voice going to crack?
Oh, God.
I don't know. Your skin gonna crack, you old bag of shit.
All right. So, I guess we'll, I mean, it was a quiet night pretty much. I mean, if you guys got through Hawks' snoring. So, I'm assuming one of you didn't sleep because elves don't sleep.
That's true. That's what I've heard.
Heard.
It's one of their finer qualities.
So
sleeping is to elves what CrossFit is to gym nerds. They just can't help but tell you about it. I don't sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
So you guys, not you guys, Kess, you see some stirring as Haux begins to kind of roll over and his head moves and wags and his eyes blink. Looks to the dark and he yelps really loud, waking everyone up.
Okay. Kestrel has been up for a while and she was just sitting in the dark reading Adri's journal. And she had also set one of the skulls up kind of near her and kept kind of glancing at it occasionally to make sure it wasn't going to talk. But when Haux kind of yelped, she's going to very quickly close the journal and kind of stuff it back in her backpack. She's like, you okay?
It grew. He's bigger.
When I jump to from awake, I'm like, no, well, of course we don't split it evenly. I just drank.
Football practice. I'm going to be somewhat wary about the statement it grew. Just because this is morning and we're waking up and I'm really curious as to what the hell Haux is pointing at and hoping that we're not about to have an incident. What grew?
He's the child, the human child. He's pointing at Kavir.
I'm sitting up, like still sitting on the ground, but like my body's upright and I have one eye open. And as soon as he says the child grew, my eye closes and I slam back down to sleep.
Is it now very much like fat guy in a little coat? Like, are your clothes like? Are you like?
Well, my coat
squeezed into them, or
my coat was made for me as an adult,
right? But I mean, the clothes you're wearing underneath, I assume, were more your size because you were wearing Victor's old stuff, right?
No, I was wearing. Well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you were. I thought, yeah, because you got it out of the trunk.
Yeah, so it's a little tight.
At this point, Nate, you feel something touch your ankle and kind of grab it.
Yeah. Whoa. Not unless you buy me dinner first. What the hell was that?
You see if you look down at your ankle, you see an undead hand attached to your ankle, holding on to you tight.
I immediately do my best Elvis kick to flick that fucker off up against the ceiling of the hovel.
Give me a dexterity or an acrobatics.
It's all shook up for 1d4 rounds.
Acrobatics. Love to. Yes. Hey, that's a big number. 23. I kicked that motherfucking wrist all over the place.
Yeah. Adri, or Kess, you see the hand that's been staying in your bag fly off his ankle, hit the ceiling of the dirt, and fall right back down between his legs and pop up on all.
Oh, between my legs. Oh no, fuck no. Now we're moving real fast now.
Episode title: Unintentional hand job.
Yeah, no, that shall not suffice. Does this belong to somebody? And why?
Yeah, that's mine. Sorry.
You carry a living skeletal hand around. I mean, I've heard of a handbag, but this seems a little ridiculous. Why?
It's got some skin on it still. I'm gonna go try to scoop it up off the ground.
Is this of sentimental value to you, or what?
It lets you scoop it up. It's been with you long enough.
It's I don't know. I've had it for a while. Sorry, it must have gotten out of the cage.
Yeah, I think so.
I believe Kavir recognizes the hand. It's the same hand that got cut off Mirludo.
Right.
Wait, you do about this?
Oh yeah, I know about
it. All right. Sure, you've got an undead hand in your bag. Sure. Okay. Yeah. We can work with that. Is that what he yelped at? Or he helped it. He helped at the sight of. Okay, so
Severe growing.
He didn't
The
see
kid.
that. Okay.
No. Though now he's intrigued with his eyes focused on the hand.
Oh yeah, I think we're all wide awake except the moody teenager over here.
Kess is looking for she has like a little wicker cage that she usually keeps it in, and she's like going through her bag trying to find it.
Haux gets up and begins lighting the candles so everyone can see.
Nothing else crawling around, is there?
If it is, it's
Maybe.
not mine.
Haux think breakfast might be. Haux must look. And he begins checking the ground around the corners for something crawling, possibly.
If someone has a candle lit in this room, I'm going to let I'm going to put my hat over my head, like over my face.
Well, so I'm guessing you're not a morning person, huh?
That's a no.
What I'm getting at. This is literally tuned you guys out so hard.
All right. Well, since we're awake, I don't know. Should we go out and get the lay of the land and I don't know, maybe try and find breakfast? Because I don't know about you, but I don't have much in the way of rations with me right now.
Yeah, we can look for something.
Haux knows scavenger on swamp. Sell many things.
Eggs.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you awake now?
Eggs.
How many would you like, and how would you like them?
14. Or big ones, like maybe 7 big ones. I'm gonna roll on my side.
All right. I guess he's a growing young lad. Where's the scavenger at, Haux?
We have to find. Scavenger move place to place around.
All right.
Morian never stay in one place too long. Zombie gators.
How far? How far is this traveling pattern?
Haux never keep track?
Is it less than a day?
Oh, we find him a couple hours.
I'm gonna sit up.
Or we can make way to, or I can show you way to town. There's a village.
Wait, town?
Edge of swamp. It's about Haux thinks a day.
Well, I don't know about you, but I think going to a town might be serving our interests a little bit better right now, especially since we're trying to get back from where we came from. Would help us get our bearings at least.
What's the name of the village?
Fog Hut.
They have a tailor.
He shrugs. Haux never really go inside. Fog Hut. Real weird about magic.
Interesting.
Good to know. Well, maybe we should find the scavenger first, if they're not too far, just in case we don't have the warmest welcome at the village.
All right. Not a bad idea.
I'm going to look down at Kavir and be like, are you coming with us? No. All right.
Yeah, no, I'm coming. I'm going to rock forward, then rock back, and then pop up to my feet.
Holy shit, you grew 4 inches. I mean, I know you explained it, but I guess seeing it in person is a little different.
I told you, if you think that I might be lying, I'm not.
Okay. Well, I didn't think you were lying. I just didn't realize how dramatic it would actually be when I finally saw it for real.
It's not exactly something we planned for. This sort of is not traditionally done this way.
Uh-huh.
So
This is surprising to me sometimes as well,
Okay.
as you can tell by my lack of planning.
And you're very, very short pants now.
I think we should go.
I'm gonna attach the little like wicker cage that I keep the hand in to the outside of my backpack. Okay, the hand is now in the cage, and then I'm gonna thump it and I'm gonna be like, "Stay in there."
Yeah, do what she said.
I'm a fist bump the cage.
Fist and just kind of like rolls at you.
It's doing cartwheels in there.
It gives you the talk to the hand motion.
It pops up on its wrist bone.
Yeah.
Pamela.
All right.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Well, where to?
I suppose, Hawks, you can point us in the right direction, or at least get us started.
Hawks nods and he goes up to the door, and he gets the door clot out of the way and begins to climb back up out of the hole, slowly checking. All right, Hawks, see safe. Come up out of the hole.
I'm gonna
All right.
put back the skull that I had set down beside me while I was reading in the dark. I'm gonna put that up on a shelf or wherever it goes, and then head out.
I will go ahead and follow.
Same.
All right, you guys get out there. You see it's foggy out there. The sky's semi-blocked out. The water's still there. It's half the place is underwater still. You can't see truly how deep it is in certain areas. Some you think you see floating logs and whatnot. There's a small little kind of island shape that Hawks is on, his little diglet's in. He kind of gets to the highest point on it, and he reaches it, goes to the ground. He starts pulling over a rock, and he pulls out this wooden compass and starts turning it. And he hands it to you guys.
Something else you picked up, a souvenir?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
People die out here all the time.
Oh, that's reassuring. Which way are we supposed to head? How I'm not exactly sure. He hands me a compass, but he just told me that this guy can be anywhere, so I'm not really sure how a compass is going to help.
Fog Hut. Fog Hut's to the northeast.
Okay. So this will help us get to Fog Hut, but okay.
It'll also help us get back here. We just have to
go back in reverse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, on the way to Fog Hut, he starts going, and he goes a little bit, and he pulls up a line out of the water, and there's a couple fish on. He undoes it. He brings over the lines to you guys for the toll.
The toll.
Okay.
You see, old lady Delaria. You give her fish, and she'll let you pass.
Okay.
It's a swamp. I kind of would have thought we'd have open access, to be honest, but all right.
I just always find it better to bring Delaria fish.
Okay.
Well, thank you for the tip.
He nods.
Is Delaria the scavenger, or is that someone else?
No, scavenger is Marian.
Marian.
He's short, green like me. Yellow eyes. Bald head.
Okay.
Smooth skin.
Goblinoid.
Could be.
He nods.
Well,
He speaks weird language. Half spits.
do we want to find him before we go to Fog Hut?
It depends on how out of the way it'll be, right?
Well, I see Kessa's point about going to find the scavenger if that's going to be a shorter trip, just so that if we need provisions and Fog Hut's not willing to supply them, then we're not out a whole day's travel with nothing.
For sure. But we're definitive about where Fog Hut is.
True.
I'm fine with either. I'm just sort of going with the swamp breeze.
If we wanted to find Marian, where do you think we should go, Haux?
Hold on. He kind of sits down and he begins to concentrate really hard. Oh, okay. I messaged him. He's to the north.
Oh,
Okay.
do you
Not sure how far. He said he was north of my hole.
okay.
So
You want to come with us?
Hey, don't.
Hmm?
Don't. I wanted to as well. The old DH. But I won't. Because I'm a man of self-control. Which also rhymes with and I won't.
Okay.
And I won't.
So we need to head north.
Haux nods.
All right. Well, then that's not out of the way. We can go find Marianne, and then we'll just jet over to the east a bit, and we should find Fogcut after that.
All right.
I'll take a hold of the compass, and I'll help guide the way.
Oh, don't forget knife. Traded knife for rations.
Right.
Oh. Right.
Thank you.
So he digs back down the hole and comes out with the golden dagger and he hands it to you guys.
I'm going to kind of flip it around in my hand.
Hawk's happy to meet you.
Thanks, Haux.
Yeah.
I'm going
Absolutely.
to hold my hand out.
He kind of looks at it odd. Oh, the human thing. He shakes it with two hands.
Well, we'll catch you later, man.
Don't die. Hawks likes you.
I know. We're trying not to. Thanks.
Thanks.
He was a pleasant fellow.
Seemed nice.
You know, for as far as people living in a hole in the middle of the ground in the middle of a swamp, yeah, I'd say we could have done far worse than that.
Yeah.
I know
Worst
plenty
places
of people
to live.
who live in holes in the ground.
So he begins hopping off. He starts hopping through the water and moving through.
Well,
So to the north then.
to the north, hold out the
North.
compass, get our bearings, and start trudging away through the swamp.
All right.
I just got your acrobatics check.
Oh, okay. Well, at least it's been verified now.
How difficult is the terrain?
Some places it's like a foot 2, others it hits 3. When some of the darker spots you guys don't know, there are dry patches of land that does rise above the water in areas.
Okay. But for the most part, we're treading water most of where we go, is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
All right. Is it at least
Okay.
better light here for us to make sure that we're not walking into another one of those things from yesterday?
You do have some more light.
Okay.
So
Before we start mucking through the water,
Mhm.
because my pants are short now, I'm going to
high waters.
I'm going to tie some loose cloth like around my over my boots and then up a ways and then kind of bind them off so I don't have leech open skin.
Are you saying you don't want to reenact the scene from Stand By Me?
I'm
Is that what
saying
I'm
I don't
hearing?
want to be in a bog where I have open skin and a non-visible area.
Okay, fair enough.
Travel. I've done a lot of travel in my time, and the little things that you don't think about, you learn quick.
All right.
So, also, if the water gets too deep, I know of a person who showed me a perfect way to get through the water by holding your head completely upright so that you could breathe as you move through the water.
Sounds very useful.
It is very useful. And I'm going to look straight in your face. Mm-hmm.
Well,
So
So-
onward.
onward.
All right. As you guys head through, it's a rigorous journey. It's not really pleasant. There's a few times as you're stepping through, the mud suction caught your guys' one of your foots, and you guys had to pull it free as you guys continued through. Bugs, mosquitoes. I mean, it wasn't really pleasant, but it's always kind of like an eeriness to the as you're moving through.
Yeah.
Sometimes the water's really, really still. Other times you can see ripples, but then they go away.
I'm probably far more comfortable in the water than the other two. Although that being said, I kind of prefer my water
Clean.
slightly cleaner, maybe occasionally a little saltier, but otherwise,
Yeah.
this not the
All right.
end of the world. But
He
yeah,
likes a finely seasoned water.
that's right. That's right. Little
All right.
potassium chloride, little sodium chloride, little calcium chloride. Never hurt anybody.
Right. At one point, everyone give me a perception.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Nothing ever good started off with that statement.
I have a plus 13 to my roll, and I want you to know that I rolled a 1.
Okay. Thank you.
The minute you said I have a plus 13, I looked at the number. I'm like, oh no, I know what that is. I can do the math.
I got a 20.
I got
Okay.
a 22.
All right. Rain, you hear it first.
Oh boy.
Like whispers at first, just kind of just coming from the distance. They're hard to make out, but I mean, you could try to focus on them if you'd like, but it just kind of like whispers at first.
Did y'all hear that?
Nope.
Mm. I listen.
I'll stop to focus on them.
All right. You begin to focus and you start almost childlike, almost just, and then Kess, you begin to hear them too,
It's whispering.
like a small female child.
Can I tell what language?
Common actually.
Okay.
It's hard to make out in the beginning.
Do we see like a light or a structure or anything around?
No.
Just about this time, a crawfish emerges from the swamp and says, "It's a trap." Sorry.
There's a Ludo song about this later from the band Ludo. I'm kidding. If you go look for the song, you're an asshole, David. But that's not what this is about. Or is it? So eventually, as you guys, the voices actually begin to get louder as you get. I don't know if you guys are staying still or moving. That's on you guys.
If my perception's this low, do I even hear it?
You as the voice gets louder and it becomes actually more common for them, you begin to start hearing the whispers.
Damn it. I was hoping that this was going to pay off for me. I was like, this is going to be the worst roll ever. And yeah.
You need your 2 portent rolls rolled for the day.
Oh, yeah, I do. Oh, hold on. Let me roll those real quick.
Hmm.
Yeah. Kess, you're hearing a little girl's voice, aren't you?
Yeah.
I can't make out what she's saying.
I got
Well-
it in 8.
It's now becoming multiple voices.
I don't think this is good.
I got an 8.
Creepy
and
little
12.
girl voices in the middle of the swamp? Nah, it's
Mhm.
probably nothing.
To save the land. You guys hear? Sounds like it begins to repeat. To save the land.
Does it sound familiar to me?
Oh yes. The words ring deathly in your ears.
Fuck. You guys hear that?
To save the land? Does that mean
Yeah.
anything to you?
Hmm.
At this point, it almost begins like there's voices shouting from the water to you guys. At this point, Kavir, it sounds like a normal voice talking, but to them at the moment it begins to sound like it's shouting to save the land from the final shadow. It almost becomes thundering right now. Give me con checks.
We should go.
Yeah. Check or saving throw? Check.
Check. Or no, saves.
On save.
19.
Nice.
15.
Nice. Kavir?
Uh-oh.
Kavir, don't fall asleep on us. You're only
That's
14.
funny.
Hey!
Oh, there you go. You guys almost feel the pressure of of it. Now it's like shouting all around you. It's almost like it's not only discomforting, but it's like rattling, shouting. Now, almost like pressure is pushing down, but it's not. And the full comes out, or the full of it comes out. To save the land from the final shadow, a new evil must be crowned in the blood of the first. And then dead silence everywhere.
Well, what the hell was that?
I was hoping one of you would know.
How the hell would I know?
I figured maybe this would be something in your domain that you've come across before.
No,
Given
this is
your-
new.
I've heard
To-
this
to-
before,
You have.
but everyone else I was with didn't hear it.
So a new evil must be crowned. What does that mean?
Some kind of prophecy, I assume, related to the disappearance of Aslan.
Huh.
Sometimes I hear things from the dead. It's usually prophecy. Sometimes they just want to be weird or creepy, or they want help with something. But usually I'm the only one who hears it.
Yeah, ghosts are creepy.
It's not ghosts.
Are you sure?
Yeah. The other day it was a revenant that I had already killed, and it started speaking to me, but nobody else could see or hear it speaking.
Oh, I've been there.
What does it mean that we can hear it this time?
I don't know.
Oh boy.
Maybe we should get out of here.
I would second that. Sure. Do we just want to cut out the middleman and go straight to town now, or do we want to keep wandering around the creepy swamp for longer?
Cass?
Since this is something you're familiar with, should we be worried, or
I mean, it's never ended in an attack.
okay, well that's
It's
reassuring.
annoying, but
I can deal with annoying more than I can deal with creepy shit coming out of the water and trying to kill us. So,
Well, if it's not dangerous, then eggs, right?
yeah, let's just maybe double time it just to be on the safe side.
all right.
All right, as you guys continue, who's in the lead?
Not me.
I imagine I am because I've got the
All right.
compass and keeping our bearings straight.
Your foot, you step into something, or you like, actually, tell me how you're walking. I don't want to assume.
On my hands with swords in them.
I kick really hard at the air in front of me before I take a step down.
I'm
Every
consistent.
2 steps, fireball.
I'm
Fireball.
consistently using shape water to create a 5-foot diameter cylinder around me such that I'm not wet.
It's called
Um,
the Moses walk.
All right. Are you
Yes.
really doing that?
No,
Oh,
no.
I was about to say that's
Well,
fucking genius.
I
Actually,
mean, it is, but I can't sustain the spell for that long, so it's not.
okay.
Oh, you're
Shit.
older, so
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I can only
I can only keep it for about 2 hours.
I can
before it starts
only
to really wear me
move.
out.
Well, okay, now it does say that I can cause water to form into simple shapes and animate it at your direction, and it lasts for 1 hour. Or I
Yeah.
can change the water's color or opacity. The water must be changed in the same way throughout, but it's only a 5 foot, so it's not a mobile thing the way that I would interpret it. So it's not really something I can do. I can yeah. Anyway.
You can't move it.
I can move or otherwise change the flow of water as you direct up to 5 feet in any direction. So it's not like I could constantly, I think, do it like a concentration. It's not a concentration
yeah,
spell.
yeah.
It's an at-will spell. So I don't think the way that it's written, it would allow me to do that.
I could see you using that if it was like, oh, we're not sure where the most shallow part of like
Yeah.
this is, or
Yeah, like a depth
There's
charge almost.
yeah, or like, oh, there's a bunch of like rocks or deadwood or something in the water. We want to clear it up to know where it's safe to walk. But
Yeah, but I can't constantly just part the Red Sea and carry my people home, so to speak.
It'd be
I
much cooler if you could.
Yeah. I assume that I'm walking It's probably somewhat easier for me to kind of shuffle as it is, because trying to like make big steps, basically I'm just creating suction with my feet every time I do in the mud, and so it's kind of more
Okay.
shuffling along the floor. That, and it also makes it easier for me to find something before I step on it. I'd rather kick
All
it
right.
than step on it.
All right. Well then, you kick something, and it kind of it feels like a long kind of thin something, and it just kind of it moves and almost rolls with your foot as you shuffle.
I stop, and I give the mom in the front seat like this with the arm straight out. I just kicked something and I think it moved.
It didn't feel alive.
Oh, okay.
You shouldn't have said that. You should have just let it- This is that when you're swimming in a lake and you feel something brushing on your leg.
Mhm.
This
Yep.
is that.
Something touched me.
Okay. I don't think
Something touched my leg. Something. Everyone stop.
It could be a log. It could be okay. I kicked something, but I know I'm aware that it's not alive. I've kicked something inanimate. I will now use shape water to open up a 5-foot cube to look down to the surface and see what I kicked.
You find a series of bones and skeletons in front
Oh,
of you
well,
that
that's
extend
great.
far.
Oh.
Boy, this is a roller coaster. Something touched my foot. It's dead. It's not alive. Oh my god, it's dead bones. Shit.
Okay.
I don't know why I
Well.
did that in character voice. I'm slipping. I'm like losing myself
Uh-oh.
here.
Well, that's probably not a good sign, is it?
Probably
Are
not.
they like adult size skeletons, child size skeletons?
It would be on the younger side.
Oh boy, humanoid.
And
I
yeah,
assume?
humanoid.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
do see some adult too, but you can kind of guess where the voices came from.
Okay, like judging by the 5-foot square section of swamp floor that I'm now looking at, how many skeletons are we talking about? Is it like 2 or 3, or is it like 150 all stacked on top of one another?
You could probably guess a mass watery grave.
Oh no.
Great.
I end my shape water spell. All right. Well, that's disturbing.
What's going on up there?
You know all those voices we heard?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. I kind of point down towards the water.
They're down there.
What's left of them? Yes.
How
Oh.
old did the bones look? Maybe whatever killed them is long gone.
They
Did-
look like they've been there for a long time.
Mostly children, probably a couple adults mixed in, but there's a whole lot more skeletons down there than I'm comfortable with, and that number tends to be greater than 1, but this is significantly greater than 1.
I mean, if they've been dead for a while, then
Well, yeah, but you just heard all the voices, so I mean, does that
Dead things talk all the time. Not to make a big deal out of it.
Well, I guess maybe I'm not as used to that as the two of you might be.
I would look at Cass and be like, first time.
I'm going to, I mean, am I basically going to just be walking over skeletal remains the remainder of the direction I'm heading in?
For a possible period.
He's a
Don't know
he's
how
a-
long it lasts.
He's a chatty bone virgin.
Oh, okay. Just everyone watch your step and apologize in advance. I'll start making my way across the bone pile.
Are you shuffling your feet still, or are you actually trying to
No,
step
I'm being a
over?
little bit more deliberate. I'm
Okay.
trying to do that ginger walk where it's like, oh, I really don't want to put all my weight on this foot, but I have to. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm stepping on your skull. Oh God, I know that was your sternum. My apologies. Oh, that was your pubic
Yep.
bone. I'm sorry. It just, yeah, it's not a pleasant walk, but it is a walk
Okay.
nonetheless.
Everyone, give
I'm-
me a
I'm
series of
just
d20s.
crunching my way
5.
through. What
You
if
wanna
I-
5
start-
D20s.
We'll start one at a time. 5 d20s.
Oh boy, a skill challenge.
No, just give me straight numbers.
Oh.
8.
All right. Give me the other. Give me the other 4.
All at the same time?
Uh-huh.
God damn it.
Oh.
7?
All right.
God damn it. This sucks so bad. 13.
It's better.
Okay.
A 3. A 3.
Okay, hold on. Let me write this down. Okay, so
Oh, good.
8, 7,
No,
13, and
these-
3.
8, 7, 13, and 3. And what's the last one?
At a 16.
All right.
Wheels the dismount after he's slipped and fallen.
Who's next?
I'll go ahead and go.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Here's number 1.
I feel like Dex should be involved in this.
Oh, fuckaroni.
Never mind, I'm fine.
All right.
That's a 1.
Yes.
That's an 8.
13.
That's an 18. That's
Oh.
better.
All right.
Oh, fuck you. That's a 2.
All right.
Yes. Yes. It's not going to be me. Fuck 'em.
And
Fuck 'em.
and a 10 to finish it out.
All right.
Your Powerball numbers tonight are no.
Fuck. Fuck.
Fuck.
And, okay.
Okay.
All right,
Rachel?
you guys ready?
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
so ready. 1.
Nat 1,
1. Oh, shit.
7,
Oh God.
10,
Okay.
All right.
Getting better.
2,
Oh shit.
Oh.
and then we end it on a nat 20.
Hey.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
nice.
All right. All right. This is gonna
My
be
shit ain't looking
interesting.
so bad right now. I'm kind of happy with mine.
Wow.
You know
And
what?
you
I didn't
guys-
think it was possible, but I think multiple under 2s helps me out. If we're grading on a curve,
All right, as you
Uh.
guys are continuing forward through the mass grave underwater, Rain up front, as he takes his first step, his foot goes right into a rib cage and all the way and gets his foot caught.
Oh shit.
Kavir's begins, as he's walking, he steps on a bone or two, nothing really too hard. And Ray, you put your foot, I'm sorry, Vess puts her foot through a skull and almost slips and falls forward.
Nice.
But she's able to catch herself with her hand and get her hand actually through another set of couple what you assume would be arm bones that are fragile enough underwater to shatter.
Oh, I felt like
But-
my hands were gonna go through like a skull, and then I have like a skull stuck to my hand.
alas, poor York.
As Rain begins to try to kick the rib cage free, he almost slips on his ass, steps into another rib cage, and now he's standing with 2 rib cages on both legs.
Oh, so I've got like those snowshoes on now, right? I can just
Yeah.
I can just easily. Hey, look,
Kavir-
Adam and Eve. Yay.
Kavir's kind of in this teenage mode where he just kind of doesn't give a fuck, and he's stepping through the bones.
Yep.
And he continues, but he's actually not slipping. Rain's able to actually get both of his feet free and is able to dodge the next few nicely. Vess gets control of herself and she gets out of the mess she's in as well, up and moving until she almost stumbles over another bone. But in the end actually does catch herself completely and is able to actually feel solid ground, mushy ground without any bones. After Ring catches himself, he gets his foot stuck in the mud and almost twists his ankle bad, worse than he could have, but is able to actually recover himself and is just kind of has this like mud clump to the bottom of his foot as he's moving through, and then Kavir kind of just dances at the end through the final ones.
I love narrative chain rolls. They are great. They're great. They're so much fun. They should be added to the game. Like in the book, they should talk about how when you're doing something that requires a long period of time. You've done this a few times, Diwak. Big fan of these.
Thank you. So
Still think I should have got my deck score, but whatever.
So you guys are, the party makes its way out of the graveyard and continues through the swamp. You guys actually find a spot of above ground. A little marshy, but you guys find it, and for a little bit, you guys can walk that path north.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
The water actually gets pretty deep on the side next to it. You're guessing easily 4 to 6 in most spots. You're seeing a few logs in the water. You actually saw a shiny object catching a glimmer of what sunlight's breaking through the clouds, but not enough to actually light the full area. It's just you get a ray every now and then, and it actually is almost, in the morning when the fog rolls in and the marine layer comes through, and you got that one beam of sunshine that's coming through.
Yeah.
It's kind of that in random spots as it's just
Okay.
patchy.
But you said we saw something shiny on the water?
Yes, you guys saw something shiny.
How shiny?
It glints off. It's enough to glint off the light at the right angle.
Okay.
It looks kind of, from what you guys can tell, it seems like it's half buried.
I'll do a little wave of my hand and part the water.
You see what's left of a shield kind of buried in the muck.
Huh. Hey, give me a hand with this real quick. I call over to Kavir. I kind of stoop down and kind of start trying to extricate it from the mud.
Okay.
Here,
I'll,
grab
reach
a
over
corner
and
of it and pull.
Yeah, I'll grab the side. I don't know why you chose me to help pull.
Because you're a young, strapping lad. That's why.
Yeah, with a 0 strength modifier.
So it's when you have a kid and you're like, oh, who's strong enough to help me with this?
I am.
Yeah.
Move aside, toots.
I wanted to make Kevin feel useful.
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god, I cannot wait till I'm an old man and I can start talking like that to you.
Uh-huh.
Says a guy never even talked to a fucking cursed bone pit before. Come on.
All right, so okay, go to give me a strength check to pull it out.
Strength check.
Whoever's pulling it, you guys are pulling it out of the water or no?
I'll
Are
try.
you fucking kidding me?
14.
See, that's why I asked the young kid to come over and give
All
me
right.
a hand, because Grandpa rolled a 1.
Oh Lord. Yeah, you couldn't budge it, but Kavir comes over with his young back and just out of the fucking mud. And you hear as it comes up, as an arm comes with it.
Oops.
I'm going to take it and shake the arm off.
The hand in the cage on Kess's back gets excited when it sees the arm, but just kind of shrinks down when the arm disappears back under the water.
It's not. You don't want that. You don't want that.
Weird.
So the shield you're holding now
What about crest or
it has a
emblem?
silver around the size. It's red with the black stripe diagonally across it. It's definitely seen its time. It's definitely took some beats to it. What you do notice though are 2 jewels, rubies sewn into the actual leather straps on the inside of it, one on each strap.
Seem familiar to you?
Me?
To me.
Do you remember that helm? Does it look similar craftsmanship to the ruby helm?
Oh, I know which helm you're talking about now.
No? Okay.
You're talking about the helm that Strahd wore
Yeah.
to cover the night.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if Kess knew about that.
Technically, she still would have the helm in her gear, possibly.
Right. So I didn't want to bring it up if I didn't have to, because I think that thing is a little.
I don't know if I wrote it down. I've changed this character sheet so many times. I must have never identified it, and I thought it was. Oh, I remember. I never wore it because I didn't. I never identified it.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have it, but I'm guessing Kess never identified it. because I don't have that in my sheet.
So it's just a black identified helm that she has
Boy,
Okay.
with rubies in the eyes.
don't let me see you try to put that helmet on. Whoa, 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 whoa.
All right.
I've got something kind of same art style.
I'm not enough of a history buff to understand what may have taken place here, so I'm assuming some kind of war at some point, given the number of bodies that we've seen.
Can I roll a check? T-Walk?
Yeah, go for it.
Maybe history.
All right. If someone wants to roll a nature check too, they can. To
Someone
identify maybe the some of the
15
damage
history.
to the shield. 15 history.
My modifiers are plus
Okay.
0. I don't think I'm
right.
going to be much use here.
11.
All right. Kiss would have a little more history of the land itself of Darkon. There
I had a
was
lot of books.
Yeah, no. So between the two of you, you guys are able to put together. Most likely, what transpired was throughout the history of Darkon, there was a few forces that did rise up against Aslan through the ages.
Mhm.
And he put them down every time. Notoriously, with what looks like one of the scratches long into the shield, could have been his dragon at one point that nailed this whoever had the shield the first time. Something that long didn't look like it was actually made from an actual blade. Looked like it could have been a claw. And a claw that large definitely would be on the draconic level.
Okay.
Jewels.
I'll share this.
Now the jewels.
Hold on. Jewels on the front of a shield are generally for status. Jewels on the interior of a shield are for effect. Why would you put something flashy and expensive on the interior of a shield unless it was to, you wouldn't want that to get chopped out while you were blocking. But so maybe magic, just from just looking at it. Maybe.
Maybe.
It seems a weird flex to put your jewels on the inside of your shield.
Does the shield look like it's still in fairly good condition despite being like buried in a swamp for who knows how long?
Well, he said a dragon slashed at it and left a scratch. So
the shield definitely seems, for the age of the area and the arm that was attached to it, has not deteriorated like the body that was attached to it. Okay. Especially with that time underwater, it hasn't. Okay. The only actual kind of like rustish damage you've seen to it, or like oxidation, was from where the dragon scratched it.
Okay. I know
rust and oxidation are two different things.
I'd like for us to hold on to. I'd like for us to hold on to that. Maybe we can get, someone to look more closely at it.
Sure. I'm gonna look at the two of my companions. D-Walk, just from my perception of them, which one of them looks like tougher? I think I already know the answer to this.
Well, one of them you saw actually form into a giant were shark. The other one runs around in plate armor.
Rachel's face.
The other one runs around in plate armor.
Shit, I forgot about that.
So, I mean,
I love this.
That just means he doesn't need it then.
So, I mean, the other one's in plate armor. So it's.
I think they get the shield. Plate armor gets the shield. Though there is a part of me that thinks handing it to Sharkman would be very funny to watch her reaction. I think I'm just going to hand it to her.
I think I would probably hand it to her anyway. So.
Right. It's not about who ends up with it. It's
no, I know. It's
the
I know. I get it.
Yeah, but I think I give it to her anyway.
Okay. Thanks.
Gems on the inside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got a helm that has rubies on it too, but They're on the outside.
I guess intelligence check. I might not be thinking about it. Can I roll that?
Sure. Go ahead and roll intelligence check to see if you remember exactly what helm that is.
Oh yeah, I know. 20.
Yeah, you remember the helm from Strahd wearing it to attack you guys and get past. You knew he was able to withstand the daylight spell the first time with that helmet on.
Show me the helm. Rubies in the eyes.
Yeah.
Black helmet.
Yeah. Dig through my backpack, pushing the journal and some other stuff around, and then take out.
I'm not gonna let her
helm.
pull it all the way out of the bag. I'm gonna put my hand over it as soon as I see it in the bag, and I'm gonna push it back down and be like, "Do not wear that helmet, and do not take it out in public. Just trust me on this. Trust me on this."
Something you have
You don't like it?
historical context with, or
We have a very long historical context with it, and I'm being very serious right now
Hmm.
in a very professional way. Do not take that helmet out in public. Do not wear that helmet.
A
okay.
very, very serious teenager. I can tell that, this is your serious teenage boy voice right now.
I want you to understand
Mhm.
that helmet might be the most dangerous thing that we have on us right now,
Oh,
on any of us.
okay.
Okay. Care to elaborate?
That's
Because up until
Strahd's
this
helmet.
point, I figured it was your. Whoa. It's what?
Strahd's helmet.
Well, he's dead from what I
He
heard.
is dead.
So
Probably not a good idea that we advertise the fact that we did it while we're
I
walking
didn't-
around with his helmet
I didn't.
while I'm still in child form.
Well, I didn't kill Strahd.
We can negotiate the finer points of reality later. Don't take that helmet out in public.
You asked to see it.
I wanted to make sure it was the right one.
Okay.
Good that you still have
Are you
it.
satisfied?
Strangely, no.
Well, that's too bad. And I'm just
That-
gonna put my backpack back on and turn around and start walking.
I'm gonna look at Rain and be like, ooh. I'm gonna do like a tough girl walk, like
So I'm gonna kind of wait until there's a little bit of distance between Kess and us, and so that's really Strahd's helmet. How
Yeah,
how is
Strahd.
how is she carrying all this stuff around, and yet it hasn't done anything to spark her memory? I mean, I know her dad said that it was fading away, but what limited experience I have with amnesia, usually things like that, something that, if it is what you say it is, and I believe that it is, then I mean, how does that not spark some kind of memory in her as to who she is and what she did?
it's a regional curse or effect or something. I can't be certain. I don't know how to break it. I don't know how to cure it. But we just got to keep an eye on it.
Is this
Because something
something
that seems innocent as taking a helmet out of your pack could cause us to give away our position and our identity.
is this something you can fix in this flying lab of yours?
I can do anything in my flying lab.
Okay. Well, then maybe that's where we should be headed as soon as we figure out where we are in town, and then try and make our way to that. I mean, you've got somewhat of an idea of where it might be, right? Based on what Haux told us.
Well, I have an assistant. He's out here somewhere,
Okay.
and he's cruising for a bruising.
All right. Well, let's yeah, I think the sooner she remembers who she is, the less likely she is to do something that could inadvertently be bad for all of us.
As a person who frequently changes bodies, let me just say this.
Uh-huh.
It's not something you want to do immediately. It's something you do slowly over time.
Okay.
You do something too dramatic, it can cause all kinds of schizophrenic breaks and psychological errors and losses of memories.
Okay.
I've seen people merge personalities before.
Hmm.
This is For now, we just want to monitor the situation to make sure nothing dangerous happens, and we'll work on it as we get more information.
All right.
Best to be patient.
Okay. I will
Also-
follow your lead on this one.
Also, I'd like to be an adult before we cross this bridge.
Well, at the rate you're going, that'll be by the weekend.
I think that the adult you're thinking and the adult that I'm usually about, a little different.
Okay. Well,
How old are you?
34.
Okay, kid, let's go. Thank you so much for listening to Return to Ravenloft, a freelance heroism podcast. If you'd like to support us more, check us out on patreon.com/freelance_heroism and just donate any amount. We have prizes and journal entries and art that we post regularly a few times a week. And we'd really appreciate any support you could give us. Thank you.
Our cast includes Rachel Moore as Kesselgard Reskill, Dees Cassius as Master Kavir, Nathan Lett as Captain Rain Trichet, and David, aka D-Walk, as Dr. Midnight, and everyone else in the game. Thanks again for listening, and we will see you next week.
The invoice is in the mail. I don't want to grow up. I'm a swampy floor kid.
Fuck.
A bunch of fucking bones of mine are thrown in a pit. Edit.
Oh god.
Sorry. Probably edit.
Probably in it.
Probably.
Future Rachel, use discretion. Yes.
Okay.